Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Bucker Designs. I've got a fun fancy fold card for you. It's a box card or a card box or whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's a card that opens up into like a box and you can make a little scene inside. I am using the super popular Merry Moose bundle from the 2020 Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. This is actually a returning favorite. It was in the holiday catalog last year in 2019 and the punch sold out so quickly, not very many people were able to get it. So they've brought it back. And I have 4 projects this week over on my blog. I'm using this. If you're looking for some more ideas, you're going to need to make sure you check out all 4 videos. So that's what we're going to do. Before we actually make the card part, we're going to make the starry sky in the background and those snow-topped mountains because they take some time to dry. So let's get started. Now, I actually started this project and I was halfway into it and realized the camera wasn't on. So you'll see that it looks like I've already done part of this because I have, but unfortunately you couldn't see it. So I'm starting it over. You're going to need a piece of basic black cardstock. And by the way, if you hop over to my blog, under the last photo, you'll find this PDF. It's free for everybody. You can save it, print it, do whatever you want. It's got all the products that I use as well as all these measurements that you're going to need. Now, you're also going to need your silicone mat. This is my gunky, gross silicone mat. That I use for shimmer paint and glue. And I have taken just a drop of the Frosty White shimmer paint, poured it on there. And I have an old aqua painter. I like to use just kind of an old junky one because it does kind of gunk up and get gross. So this is my designated shimmer paint aqua painter. If you don't have an aqua painter, you can use just a paintbrush. And I've added just a little bit of water into that shimmer paint so that it's pretty liquidy and I can take it and just flick it onto my basic black piece. That is going to give us a really cool nighttime starry sky. All right, so let's get that. That looks pretty good. I'm going to move that over there. Now I'm going to bring over these 2 mountains that I have cut out with the Majestic Mountain dies. And I'm going to flip one over to the back so that they're not exactly the same. And I'm going to get that shimmer paint. And I'm just going to go along the tops here to give these little mountains kind of a snow peak look on them. Now I cut them from just a dark gray. It's not smoky slate, it's basic gray. I think I might have said smoky slate because I want them to just be a silhouette there in the night sky. My family's a little bit obsessed with the mountains and the dark, beautiful nighttime skies that you can find at the national parks. We're actually going to Big Bend National Park in December. My daughter, for her 18th birthday, that's what she wants to do. So we're going to drive out there and hopefully we'll see a beautiful night sky like that. Once you get away from the city lights, it's amazing what you can see. All right, when you're done, make sure you run some water through the brush tips so that it doesn't get crusty and gross. Okay, now let's move this out of the way and we'll go ahead and make the box part of our card or our card base. And you're going to need a full sheet of soft suede cardstock, so 8.5 by 11. We're going to score the short side at 1 3/4 and 6 3/4. Then you're going to turn it to the long side and you want to score it at 2 inches, 3 3/4 inches, 7 1/4, and 9. Now, here in this middle section, this is 3.5 inches wide. We want to mark it at the halfway point, which is 1 3/4. So I'm going to move that little line over to the 4 so I can easily find 1 3/4. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, 1 3/4. Now, the reason we did that is because we're going to make some diagonal score lines from that corner to that 1 3/4 area. Or mark. So get your stylus. You can also use a bone folder or take your pick tool and put it right there in that corner and get a straight edge and just make a score line there diagonally from there and diagonally from here, from this corner. All right, do the same thing over here. And over here. Okay, now grab your bone folder, and mine has disappeared. It was just here. My bone folder always disappears. All right, well, we're going to just, oh, it's right here. Hello. Okay, now burnish all those score lines. Get all of those nice and crisp. And then you want to take these lines that we made and go ahead and bend them so that when you put this together, they will pop into place. Okay, like that. Now we are going to cut these. Basically, this is going to fold back like that. All right, and these are going to fold down and into the card. Okay. So, okay, the first thing we are going to do is cut off these 4 corners. And when you do, go all the way to the second score line like that, but only cut off the outside one, okay? So starting on the short side, cut all the way in and cut those off. Again, all the way in, cut those off. And one more. Like that. All right, so take a look. That's what it looks like. And these are going to fold in and attach to here. But I'm going to cut this at an angle so that I get rid of some of that edge. Sometimes my cutting and my scoring isn't exact, and I have a little edge that bumps out. So I'm actually going to cut off this corner right here, okay? So from the outside, I'm going to cut like that. And now we've got that straight edge there, okay? So let's cut these corners at a diagonal. Well, I did them. Did I do them opposite? No, I did them right. See how that's going to just fold right in there. Okay, so now let's get our adhesive. And I'm going to use Stamp and Seal Plus. This is a very strong adhesive, and it will withstand lots of back and forth. When the recipient gets this card, they're going to want to show it to everybody. And they're going to open and close and open and close. So we want to make sure it's nice and strong. So I'm going to fold that down into there, okay? Like that. There we go. And there. So now we've made this box that's going to fold in like that. Isn't that fun? So fun. All right, so now let's start putting all of the pieces together. I have some plaid paper. This goes perfectly with our mousse. And I'm going to adhere it on the outside panels. All right. There we go. Now we need to stamp our little mousse. We're going to do that on Whisper White in Memento. And I'm going to color him using soft suede and crumb cake. I'm going to start with a light soft suede. All right, I'm just going to give him a full coat of light soft suede all the way down. Some of you, I know you have mousse in your area and you probably see them all the time and they're not even a big deal. But to me, someone who lives in South Texas, seeing a mousse would be amazing. We recently went to the Rocky Mountain National Park. We were really hoping to see a moose. We did not. We saw lots of elk, but not one moose. We didn't see anything else but elk. And they were pretty awesome too. All right, now take your dark, and anywhere where you see those little hash marks where the artist has already given you a clue where to add that shading, okay? And I'm going to go down around the belly. The top side is going to be lighter because that's where the light comes down. Of course, our moose is walking through the woods at night, so there wouldn't be a lot of shine on him, but underneath would definitely be darker. Okay, now I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take dark crumb cake. Let's see. No, that's a little bit too dark. Well, we've already committed, so we'll go ahead and do it. But I think maybe the light would have been a little bit better to be different, you know, closer to the shape of their antlers. Antlers, horns. My husband is a big hunter and he gets mad when I call him the wrong thing. I don't know. One is, you know, one they lose and one they don't shed, you know, fall off during the year. And he would know the difference. I don't. So we're just going to pretend like I know. Okay. So now I've also got a piece of Whisper White. And the Whisper White, we're going to cover it up with the mountains here in a minute, the top edge. But I'm going to take this Merry Christmas, isn't that clever? And stamp that in real red, cherry cobbler. I have already cut 2 little pine trees from shaded spruce. All right, let's get our pieces and see. Hopefully they are dry enough. I think so. I'm going to take one and I'm going to adhere. Actually, we need to put on the Whisper White piece first. So let's do that. Whisper White. And then we will put one of the mountains flat back here like this. And then we're going to take the other mountain and we're going to pop it up. All right, a couple of dimensionals. And we're going to adjust it so that our mountain ranges look a little bit different. You know, they're not cookie cutter mountains. Now go to the back and just trim off anything that's not matching the edges. All right, now for our moose, I'm going to put him with a dimensional also. Let me see. Let me think about this. Do I want to put the trees down first? Probably. The trees, I think, well, I would use liquid glue, but my liquid glue is nowhere to be seen. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just put these kind of one like that, flat to the mountain. And the other one's going to be overlapping like that. And then we'll take our moose and he's just walking by like that. Isn't that beautiful? Fun, 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 fun. Okay, now more Stampin' Seal Plus. And let's slide that down into our card. Press it down. And there you have it. Isn't that neat? All right, now I'm going to make, I'm going to make a belly band to keep this closed. And a belly band is just a piece of cardstock that wraps around it and slides up and down, okay? So you're going to need for your belly band a 1 1/4 by 9 inches of soft suede. And you want to take it and just fold it around like this, okay? And we're going to just adhere it end over end like that. So you can see that it will slide up and down, okay? Now I chose another designer series paper. This is the Cherry Cobbler designer series paper from the Regal's DSP stack. And it coordinates, so I didn't want anything too busy there in the middle. So I'm going to put that right there. I have also cut out a brushed metallic stitched star, and we'll put that right there. And then we'll finish off with our ribbon, and we're going to tie that bow. It's over here. I left it on the tray. And we're going to tie this around. Now, this is a fancy fold, kind of an over-the-top card. I wouldn't say this is the card you want to make 100 of for your Christmas cards, but this is a card that I would make for someone special. You could even put a gift card down in that box part. I think guys would really like this card. So if you have a special guy you want to make a Christmas card for, maybe a husband, a father, a brother, a son, this is kind of a fun card that they would really appreciate. And also, if you don't want to make it for Christmas, just change that sentiment and make it for a birthday or an anniversary or whatever. Whoever would appreciate this nighttime mountain moose scene. Okay, there you go, you guys. I hope you like the card box. It's fun and different, and I think pretty much anybody could make it. Please hop over to my blog and grab that PDF so you'll have all the measurements, as well as 2 other projects using the Merry Moose and 1 more coming on Monday. Okay, you guys, thanks so much. Have a great one. Bye-bye.